I understand you're the new MC. Congratulations. It's quite an honor to be the MC of Alpha. There's a lot of responsibility that comes from it, but there's also an incredible opportunity for growth and impact. So I want to share with you some do's and don'ts, some tips around being an MC to help you to succeed as you start out on this journey for the first time. Now, at the same time, I hope you'll look at this again later as it's going on, and maybe if you're asked to be an MC again, because there's always ways to improve. One of the things is, and probably one of the most important things I could tell you, is to be a team player. You're there to serve other people, to make them great. You know, as the MC of Alpha, a lot of people are going to look up to you because in essence you have a stage. And so use that stage to do good, to raise up others. You're going to be working with an entire team of people in the kitchen, in registration, at tables. Catch people doing things right. And remember that you're there to help serve them and give the team, as well as the guests, a great experience. So what you don't want to do is make it all about you. I'd really encourage you to also be prepared. The more prepared you are, the more work you do before the night actually comes, the more comfortable you can be in what you're going to execute, but also the more present you can be to others. A lot of people will spend between a half an hour to an hour preparing that week for the evening that's coming. And so be prepared. You'll want to know the flow of the evening, the times around each evening, and which section is up next. You'll want to write out your timing, and you'll want to have it on a sheet at your podium. You might also want to have it at your table while you're eating with your guests at your table, if indeed you're part of a table team, so that you can look at it and see what's next, and when you go up to the podium, you'll also see what's there. What you don't want to do is wing it. Don't get so comfortable with it that you don't put any thought behind, because that shows. And when people see that somebody's not prepared and you're the MC, it almost says you're not important enough for me to prepare. It's the wrong message. Be prepared and do a great job. If for some reason the day before or when you normally prepare gets railroaded because of a personal event or some work-related activities, don't apologize for it when you get to the evening. Don't say to people, listen, usually I'm really prepared, but tonight I'm not prepared. Really sorry about that. I couldn't get any sleep. I was thinking about this on the way over. Don't say things like that. Deliver your best and don't apologize for it. Can I count on you for that? It's really important. I see people do it all the time. Don't do that. Bring your best energy every time. Let's face it, life can be complicated sometimes, and sometimes things happen. And we can come to the night dragging a little bit. But people, both team and guests, will feed off your energy. So bring your best energy. Leave whatever you're carrying with you for the day, leave it at the door. Put on a smile, and remember you're there to serve. Because your energy, again, puts people at ease, both team and guests. And that's what you want to try to accomplish as an MC. You know, one of the things I've often tried to get away from, and other MCs try to get away from, is telling the alpha joke. For me, it's because I'm terrible at telling jokes. People are often laughing at me, not necessarily with me. But as long as they're laughing, that's what we want to do. We want to put people at ease and make them feel comfortable. You know what's really cool is if you Google Alpha Course jokes, you'll find a whole list of really corny jokes. I use those every time. One, because it gives me the material, but two, it's safe. Because sometimes what happens is people go into their bank of jokes, or maybe their bank of jokes that are kind of on the line, and it might not go over so well. We don't want to offend anybody with the jokes that we tell. Let me tell you a story. I remember a friend of mine who did a really good job emceeing. He was a wonderful MC, and he found this really funny joke, and it was about an atheist. And it was a good joke, but I couldn't help but think, isn't Alpha for people that are away from God? If we're doing it well and we continue to do it, hopefully we'll have more and more atheists at our Alpha. Do we really want to be poking fun at them? Probably not. And so when I brought that to his attention, poor guy felt terrible. And he realized, I need to stay away from jokes like that that might isolate or make fun of people. That includes other denominations and so on. So just keep your jokes clean. Does that make sense? But don't not tell a joke just because you're not good at it. Tell it anyway. Even if they're laughing at you, they're still laughing. As an MC, I'm really going to encourage you to ask for feedback from people you respect. Because here's the deal. People will be giving you feedback. Anytime you're at the front of the room and anytime you're doing any speaking, people will come to you and say, boy, you did a great job. Don't believe them. Don't believe your own press. Ask for help from people and feedback from people who have your best interest in mind and understand what you're trying to create as an MC of Alpha. Ask them to be specific and then try to implement the things that you hear that you believe will make you a better MC. Ask for great feedback. Don't go it alone, and don't believe your own press. Because remember, the goal of emceeing in Alpha is to set the tone, to set the atmosphere, to put people at ease, to relax them. Alpha is not meant to be tense. Alpha is meant to be fun and relaxed and engaging. I want to also really encourage you to follow the Alpha recipe. HTB, Holy Trinity Brompton Church, has been running Alpha for 30 years. They're constantly innovating. And I'd really encourage you to stay within the recipe of Alpha. Don't use Alpha to promote your own agenda or to take it off track. Stay within the framework of what we're trying to accomplish at Alpha. The other thing I want you to consider is be careful of your Christian jargon. You know, again, if we're running Alpha over and over again, hopefully more and more people from your church are going to be inviting their friends to Alpha. And if that's the case, when we use Christian language, or sometimes we call it Christianese, it creates a barrier between us and them. And so use common street language. Have fun. Again, don't be intense. And just use normal language. It's really important to make people feel comfortable. I want to run over with you some of the components of the evening just by way of a kind of a venue or a list sheet, call sheet for the evening. First thing is we want to encourage you to make sure you prepare. Know what you're going into that night, because when you do that, it helps you to also be present to the other people. So be prepared. Second thing is we always encourage people to go to the pre-meeting. So that's when the Alpha team gets together about a half an hour before the evening starts, before any of the guests arrive. Be present to that. Be a part of the team. The evening itself then goes into eating. After people are finished eating, that's when you'll get up and take your place at the podium. You'll welcome everybody and put them at ease. Often from there, telling one of your Alpha jokes, hopefully better than I do. Oftentimes for us, we do all the cooking, and so we put baskets on the table and we just invite people to make a contribution towards the meal. And so we just remind them of that very politely, and they're happy to do that. Then we'll often move into a time of music. We'll often have 2 songs each night of Alpha, so that's when you turn it over to the person who's doing the music. Oftentimes then you'll get the floor back. And oftentimes what we'll do is we'll say, you know, don't forget, last week we talked about, is there more to life than this? And this week's talk is on who is Jesus Christ. I hope you really enjoy the talk. Everybody take a look at the screen. We're going to show you, we call it a streeter. You can go to the Alpha website, and they have little 2 to 3 minute videos of asking people questions on the street, like who is Jesus Christ? And it's really cool. It kind of sets the stage and gives people the opportunity to be honest, because some of the answers you're going to hear are really funny and really honest. After the streeter video, we put on the real video or introduce the speaker, depending on if you do live talks or use the videos. And then after the talk is over, the MC just gets up and invites people to break out into their small groups and encourages them to have a really good time. So this is the flow for us at St. Benedict Parish in terms of what we do as an MC. Again, being an MC is an incredible opportunity to grow and to put others at ease. Being an MC is an important role. You have the opportunity to invest and encourage all kinds of people on your team. I hope you enjoy your MC experience, and don't forget to be on the lookout for other people who you can mentor and apprentice so that they too can become an MC in the future. God bless your Alpha.